Welcome to session 4. In this session the first thing we're going to learn is another major scale pattern. We've already learned C major scale pattern number 1, which is in the open position, and C major scale pattern number 2 in the second position, which had the interesting idea that we had to pull just the first finger out of position to get back to that note without yanking the whole hand out of there. So that's the first two patterns. Let's learn another one now. We'll call it C major scale pattern number 3. It's in the 5th position, so we bring our first finger up to the 5th fret, and that's where it's going to start. That's where we're going to play it in this position here. The lowest root note is going to be the C note here on the 8th fret of the 6th string, so we'll start with that note. And we'll start to ascend the scale now. So the next note is then the 5th fret of the 5th string, being a D there. The next note after that is the 7th fret of the 5th string, an E note. The next note is the 8th fret of the 5th string. The next note is the 5th fret of the 4th string. The next note is the 7th fret of the 4th string. And the next note's another anomaly. What it is, it's the 9th fret of the 4th string. And what we're going to do, we've already played this note here with the first finger and this note here with the 3rd finger. So now we have to take our 4th finger and pull it out of position back up to here. So what it involves is a good little stretch between your 3rd and 4th finger there. So if we come up that string, what we don't want to do is jump our whole hand out. We don't want to go and move our hand. The idea is that the hand stays rigid and just the fingers are doing the work there. From there we carry on ascending. We play the 5th fret note on the 3rd string, which is C, then the 7th fret note on the 3rd string, which is a D, then the 5th fret note on the 2nd string, which is an E note, then the 6th fret note on the 2nd string, which is an F, then the 8th fret note on the 2nd string, which is a G, then the 5th fret note on the 1st string, which is an A, the 7th fret note on the 1st string, which is a B, and then the 8th fret note on the 1st string, which is a C. So we've come all the way through that scale. So let's ascend it now, very nice and gently. And we'll just go back as low as we can, so it's a half step from C back to B, so the B here is on the 7th fret, and then a whole step back from B to A, so that's our A note there. Now of course we then always return to the lowest root note, so we go back to there. So to play that scale through properly, I'll do it for you now at about the speed you want to be able to do it. You don't want to be able to play it too fast or slower, just a nice average sort of a speed. And of course we follow the rules of major scales, where we begin on the lowest root note, ascend to the highest note in the scale, descend to the lowest note in the scale, and then return to the lowest root note again. So I'll do it for you now, nice and slowly. That's C major scale pattern number 3. Naturally your right hand should be very familiar now doing down and up strokes and or alternate strokes, and without even thinking about it, so it's just nice and alternate. So if you can get it that fast, you're doing very well indeed. So that's C major scales now. We've got pattern number 1, pattern number 2, and pattern number 3, the new one, in the 5th position there, with the anomaly on the 4th string, where the little finger has to pull itself out of position to go to the 9th fret. And that is the same whether you're ascending or descending. So if you're descending the scale, be very careful to pull it down on there.